Hi everybody. Today is going to be a work in progress Wednesday. Normally for work in progress Wednesday, I would be crocheting whatever I was working on for that week, so whatever was on my hook. I'm currently caught up with all of my crochet projects, so we're going to do something totally different. I had started a painting of shining things that Pete had designed on his wood laser engraver. He made a frame for this photo I took earlier in the year up at Mount Hood, and he also designed a clock. We got this far into the clock, so today I'm going to paint the hedge with the green, and then we're going to glue all of the pieces to the clock. So we have a typewriter that has a piece of paper out of the top that says, "All work and no play make Jack a dull boy." That'll go in the very center. So once everything's painted, we're going to glue that down. I'm not going to paint the typewriter at all. There's just way too many tiny little details, and I think it looks great as it is. So paint the hedge maids, then we'll glue that in the center. And then this is a bag of numbers for the clock. And Pete, Shorty's very squeaky today playing with her new camera toy. The numbers, Pete did like a typewriter font for the numbers, and we're going to place those around the clock face. And then what are we going to do after that? I need to figure out which arms we're going to use for the clock and attach them. I really wish that we could do like tiny little axes for the arms. That would be cute. I thought about maybe having Pete 3D print them, but I think it would be too heavy. So for now, we're just gonna pick something out of the clock parts box and go with that. I do want to put a layer of Mod Podge on all of this just to seal it in, protect it. Plus I use a glossy, so I like that shine. No pun intended. It is the shining after all. That is funny. So I'm going to open this up and see what we have. I was originally going to have Pete do this part where he assembles the numbers and the clock part, but he's not home yet. He had to work a little extra out in the field, so he won't be home until later tonight, and I want to have this done before tonight. So anyway, we've got some glow-in-the-dark arms, which could be kind of fun, maybe. And then just some regular, I don't know if those are silver or gold. I don't know. Which would look best? Man. Let's see, we need the battery compartment, the part that's gonna attach to the wall. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure which ones I'm going to use. You know what? Since Pete is coming home tonight, maybe I'll have him do that part after all. He's done 2 other clocks, so he knows what he's doing. And I'm looking at all these different pieces, and I'm like, what? Where does that go? I don't want to mess up anything. So I'm going to put this all back in here, and he can do that when he gets home, and I'll show it. By then, hopefully everything will be dry enough to where we can do this. I would love to get this finished today, so I'm going to get to it. That way we can make that happen. So we'll deal with clock parts later. Much, much later. This box is actually kind of cool. He made that too. Okay. Let's get to painting. This shouldn't take very long. Okay, originally I was going to paint white and then do like the actual hedge part in green. But I think I'm just going to do green and just leave it with the raw wood. I think that's going to look really good. And then the typewriter obviously will be the raw wood on top. Gonna sip a little coffee in the appropriate coffee mug, matching my Here's Johnny t-shirt. I had to, you know, dress for the project, as one does, right? All right, let's get started. I'm running into a slight problem. I'm trying to paint the dark wood-edged parts green because the hedge is green. And I was doing a really good job, and then I just noticed that it's starting to kind of bleed. And you see that? So maybe if I hurry and take a wet cloth to that and wipe off as much of the green as I can. Pete suggested painting the entire center white, and then once the white's dry, go over the hedge in green, and then it shouldn't bleed as much. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. The white part's done. Now we just let it sit to dry. I do think that's gonna look better. It kind of looks like snow. And then we'll go over the hedge in green once this is dry. So meanwhile, while this is drying, I'm going to Mod Podge the frame. But I need to tape off the photo. Actually, I might be okay. If I'm very careful, I may not need to tape off the... You know what? The way my last couple days have been going, I'm going to tape it off. Because I will be very mad at myself if I get Mod Podge on the plastic frame, especially since it's sealed in there and I can't take the picture out. Yeah. Done. Now to just set it to the side to dry for a little bit. Where am I going to put this? I'm going to put it on Pete's desk since he's not here. Using my USB fan to help it speed up the process of drying. It does dry pretty fast on this wood. Actually, it looks pretty dry except for like one little spot. So I'll just blast it with the fan and we'll get to the green. This project is actually going pretty fast, which I'm good, or not good, which is good. I'm happy about that because I don't want to spend all day doing this. I have other things I want to get done. All right, I think we're good. Let's get that green on here. That way we can get it all glued and Mod Podged today, and then it'll be ready when Pete gets home later. Nope, that's the Mod Podge brush. I need green paint. I still have green in the palette here a little bit. But I'm going to put, no, my brain is all over the place. How about we go back to time lapse? Just finished the green and I'm going to let it dry to see how it looks and then decide if I need to do another coat. I think it'll be okay. I mean, most of that's going to get covered in the center anyway with the typewriter. I kind of wish that I had a paint pen, kind of like a Sharpie. It just would have made it a lot easier and faster to go in the grooves, because I don't have a teeny tiny paintbrush anymore. I broke it last time we were painting. And yeah, so getting into those fine lines and details was kind of hard. It looks a little sloppy if you look at it up close, but from far away it looks pretty good. But it might be streaky and I might need to do another coat of green, but we won't know until it dries. So let's set that to the side. I'm going to go do some laundry and a couple other things around the house off camera, and we'll come back and we'll see if we need to do another layer of green. If not, then I will be gluing the typewriter and the numbers on it and then doing Mod Podge, and we'll be done until Pete gets home. Everything glued down, so now I'm just waiting for it to dry, and then we'll do the Mod Podge, and then it'll be done as it can be for the moment. Finished putting a layer of Mod Podge on it, and now we're going to let it sit for a little bit, and we'll come back and we'll add the arms, put a battery in it, and hang it up on the wall up there. So the frame's going to go here and the clock is going to go up there.
5 hours later.
It's done. Pete just attached the clock mechanism and the hands, and it looks fantastic. I'm so excited. So now we're going to put it on the wall. And there it is on the wall. So I'm going to pull back and try to show it all together. Well, there you have it. Work in progress Wednesday became finished project Wednesday. I'm so excited. It looks fantastic. I love having a clock on this wall. Hope you enjoyed our calm, relaxing day painting. I'll see you again tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas. There's only a couple left. Can you believe it? We have gone almost 25 days in a row, counting down to Christmas. I can't believe it's almost Christmas. That's wild. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everybody. Bye for now.